Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright, as we have ourselves the flaky witness, Yanni Yogi, on the stand, and we're trying to, I guess, prove that he done it, but despite the fact that he supposedly needs one of those motive things, right? And I don't got one. I don't know if you don't have one, because we saw a letter before, but now we've lost a letter, so how are we going to proceed from here? Keep pressing, we don't have the evidence we need. How can you say you had no motive? I say you do. You had a grudge against Edgeworth and the victim, Robert Hammond. That's why you took revenge on them, right? Please, don't make me repeat myself, Mr. Wright. This witness has no memory of anything beyond several years ago. He can't hold a grudge. It's impossible. I have to prove he's lying about his memory. Otherwise, it's going to be the same thing over and over until the trial ends. Might I say something, Mr. Wright? Yes. Yes, Your Honor? You've been saying the same thing now over and over. You've been calling the witness's memory of the past or lack thereof into question. But does this really have anything to do with the current case? Of course, Your Honor. The witness has said he has nothing to do with this case and no motive. Both of these statements are lies. Well, I'm glad I'm getting straight to the point here. Order! Order! Mr. Wright, there is a serious problem with your claim. Or, are you saying you know who this witness is? Of course, Your Honor. Ha! Now this is interesting. I would like to know myself. So, who is he? Don't play dumb, Von Karma. Mr. Wright, please tell us this witness's name. Well, it's Yanni Yogi. His name is Yanni Yogi, a former court bailiff. Yogi? That name seems familiar. Oh! Yanni Yogi, from the D-Out 6 incident. It figures the judge would have heard of it. It was such a famous case. But what does this mean? Your Honor, if this man is Mr. Yogi, then he has a clear motive. Jumping to conclusions again, Mr. Wright. This witness is Yanni Yogi. Fascinating. However, how do you propose to prove this to the court? This is a court of law, as you may recall. You need proof. And allow me to repeat once more that the witness has lost his memory. This is it. I have to do this now. If I can't prove he's Yogi right here, right now, then I've got nowhere else to go. Nick, how are you going to prove it? How can you prove that he's Yanni Yogi? It's okay. It's actually quite simple. Your Honor, please take this man's fingerprints. Then we'll compare them to the fingerprints on file for Yanni Yogi 15 years ago. I see. That makes sense. What have you done? Huh? I'm so very, very sorry, Mr. Wright. Why? The witness has no fingerprints. What? What? No fingerprints? You see, before I worked as a caretaker, I worked at a chemical plant. I burnt my fingers working with the stuff. Yup. What? Yogi, you sneak. You burned your fingerprints off to hide your past. Well, if the witness has no fingerprints, I guess we will not be able to prove his identity. No, haven't we got dental records or something? Well, what will you do, Mr. Wright? It seems that the case has been decided, no? No! I know what happened. I know everything! I just can't prove it. But no, I can't let it end like this. I can't lose. There has to be another way. There is no one who can testify as to who this witness is. No one! Nick, what are we going to do? I didn't even consider that he might have erased his fingerprints. What do I do? Well, Mr. Wright, perhaps you'd like to cross-examine his parrot for a little comic relief, Yeah, very funny. You're a sore winner, Von Karma. Wait a second. Cross-examine his parrot? What is it, Nick? No, you're not going to... Your Honor. The defense would like to take Mr. Von Karma up on his proposal. Take Mr. Von Karma up? On my proposal? Exactly, Your Honor. I would like to cross-examine the witness's pet parrot. Order! Well, what do you think, Mr. Von Karma? Need you even ask? This is a farce. I object. Objection! Wait a second. You were the one who suggested I cross-examine the parrot, Von Karma. I have a right to do as you suggested. Well, if you're so desperate, then please, be my guest. Of course, should you go through with this, and nothing comes of it, then I hope you're ready for the consequences. Nick, this is crazy. Well, still want to go through with your little game? Yeah, sure. To be honest, we know the parrot can say certain things that relate, well, let's just get it to say DL6 incident. I mean, like it did before. Then we're sorted, aren't we, surely? There's a link instantly there, but then I'll probably say something like, we taught the parrot to say that or something, I don't know. We did have time alone with the parrot. Let the parrot take the stand. I will cross-examine her, Your Honor. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Von Karma's rigged every person's testimony, every piece of evidence, except the parrot. She's my last chance. At least, I think so. Bailiff, bring in the parrot. Well, the judge gone with it. Judge is very lenient, isn't he, for everyone involved. And so now, that's quite a bird. We cross-examine a parrot. I'm not sure it can give a testimony, mind you. Please, tell us your name. Name! The witness is ignoring me. It must hurt to be ignored by a bird. Very well. Witness, who is your owner? Please, testify for us. Haven't you got to say its name first to get it to say something? Hello, Squawk! That's a testimony right there. Certainly the most concise testimony we've had so far. Very well, begin your cross-examination. Right. What are you going to do, Nick? Well, we trigger phrases. We've no trigger phrases. We'll use the trigger phrases. I don't know. What do we do, Mayor? Hello, Squawk! And I guess that's the only thing we can really get to here. Witness, you can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. Honestly, Phoenix, you've seen this parrot before. You know the trigger. You've been told it. It's good. We could say Polly first and then ask it a question. I want you to testify. Mayor, you talk to her. Right, what do I say? Have we forgotten something? What's your name? What's the safe number? Well, those are trigger phrases, isn't it? So, isn't it haven't we forgotten something that made her say, like, DL6? As I recall, 2 days ago... Polly, have we forgotten something? Squawk! Don't forget DL6, Squawk! If I can get Polly to say that here... that will prove that the caretaker had something to do with DL6. Polly, have we forgotten something? Hello, Squawk? That's not what you're supposed to say. Forgot. Something we forgot. Hello, Squawk? Uh-oh, it's not working, Nick. She won't say it. This is ridiculous. Why won't she say it? Something the matter, Mr. Wright? You fixed the witness again and it's a parrot this time. What did you threaten it with or do to the poor thing? Clip its wings? Wait. Don't tell me Von Karma expected this. He couldn't have retrained the parrot. Could he? I just imagine you with a gun there going, you say anything. Yeah. I don't know. I'll just hit the table as well for no reason. Did he train her not to respond when we asked if he'd forgotten anything? Speaking of hitting the table for no reason, it's not a very good idea to start with an animal in a jittery way by slamming the table down and going, "Ah, tell me things!" He possibly did train her then. Right then, so... let's ask her something else then. We got 3 options after all. We know they provide things. Witness! You can't just say hello and expect us to get anywhere. Stop slamming your hand on the ground. You'll just startle the thing. I want you to testify. Okay, we got there. Mia talks to her again. So have you forgotten something? What's your name? What's the safe number? Well, the safe number, it seems like the most interesting thing, but... well, look at... we're not getting any penalties here, so we may as well go down the list until we get it right. Maybe I should get her to say her name. That's usually actually a good starting procedure for a courtroom. We usually ask the witness's name. Polly, Polly! What's your name? Despite the fact we're saying Polly at her. Polly! Polly! Squawk! Mr. Wright! I think we've established that this parrot is named Polly. Does this have anything to do with her owner's identity? Silence is bred because thinking is always good, as we identified when we checked our evidence before we started this part of the trial, because of the fact that supposedly all our evidence was stolen when it wasn't. We looked at the flavor text here. After his arrest, fiancée Polly Jenkins committed suicide. Connection? Coincidence? Owned by Yanni Yogi. Possibly reminiscent or something like that. Named it after his dead fiancée. It's logical. It's a leap, but it might work, to be honest. The safe code's the more interesting part looking at it. Because the safe code is today's date. Or more to the point, the date of the DL6 incident as well. That's probably the clearer thing out of the two, but we'll say of course. Because I think it does indeed. Probably we're going to have to form more than one link after all. Ha! Fascinating. You claim that the parrot's name will prove her owner's identity? To be honest, if we've used evidence a lot, the evidence that's left and we haven't used usually has it in, so as long as we just look at it clearly, concisely, and try to pick apart it, we will get forward here, and I'm pretty sure we're on the right track. Then show us this proof. Nick, don't you think you're taking the bluffing a little too far? Listen, we're not here to answer the question of who is the caretaker. We're here to prove that he is Yanni Yogi. All we have to do is tie the name Polly to Yogi. Your Honor, the proof that the parrot's name reveals the caretaker's identity is the DL6 case file.
Take that!
The DL6 case file? That's quite a large file you have there. Which page is this proof on then? It's only 3 pages. Show us, or stop wasting our time. Very well, Mr. Wright, please show us the page. Where in this file is the information connected to this parrot's name? I think you'll find it's in suspect data. It's on the suspect data page. This page has all the information about Yanni Yogi. Right after he was arrested, his fiancée committed suicide, see? Indeed, it does say that, yes. What was his fiancée's name? Polly Jenkins. Polly! Exactly, Your Honor. He wanted to remember the name of his fiancée who had committed suicide. That's why he named his parrot after her. I see. I guess that is possible. But it's not a clear-cut thing, though. Bah! A mere coincidence, that's all. My granddaughter has a dog she calls Phoenix. Well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, does this make you my granddaughter's fiancé? She's only 7 years old. Oh, okay, it's not Phoenix saying that. Indeed. Alone it is a little weak for evidence in a murder trial. We would need some other corroborating evidence. Where am I going to find that? I think we've got it. Nick, we're getting closer. One more. We can just get one more piece of evidence. Right, but what? Very well, witness. You may continue. And it's the same bit again.
Hold it!
Because it's the safe code we want. Witness, weaker, yada yada, indeed. Right, talk to us. Polly, let's go. What's the safe number? Maybe I'll get it to say this number if that's safe. Huh? The safe? Why? Let's just try to get it to say anything, okay? Polly, what was the number to the safe in the shack? 1228! 1228! My, what a reckless parrot! Well, Mr. Wright, you aren't claiming that this number has something to do with the caretaker? Actually, it does. Actually, it does. That's why I had to say it. Ha! Ridiculous! But he looks irked again. How can the number to a safe tell us who the caretaker is? Show us your proof. What could possibly link this number to the caretaker's true identity? Again, the DL6 case file. Should we do it with the actual voice command? Take that!
Take that!
The DL6 case file? What is this obsession you have with that case? You were going to bring it up in court, weren't you? I guess that was until... until we brought you that letter. And you took the evidence you thought was pertinent. Then you changed things, you met up with this Yanni Yogi bloke, you corroborated, made a story, went back, fixed the parrot, and now you're not expecting the DL6 incident to be brought up this much, because you changed tack between then and now. Mr. Wright, where in this file is something relating to that safe number? Well, it's in the case summary, sir. It's on the case summary page. The case summary? Specifically, the date on which the DL6 incident occurred. The date of the incident? December 28th? Why, that's today's date. 15 years ago. And the number on that safe is 1228. Ah! He used the date of the DL6 incident as the number for his safe, Your Honor, in American format, of course, because, of course, here it would be 2812. That's how important that date was to him. I see. It certainly is an interesting coincidence. People often do set their secret numbers to dates. But to be honest, if I didn't read the case file, I wouldn't have got that at all, because I would have read it 2812. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't have got that unless I was American. Reading the case file really helped sort things up, so thank you for stealing our evidence there, Von Karma.
Objection.
Bah, this is not tangible proof. I set my ATM's cars to 0001 because I'm number one. Well, thanks for telling us. This has nothing to do with a date. Nothing! That's enough. I think we've reached a conclusion here. This is a mere coincidence, that's all. True, that is a possibility. However, two coincidences at the same time seems more like a pattern to me. What are you saying? Summon the caretaker of the boat shop. Immediately! A witness. We got heroic music for the judge. Tell us your name.
Objection.
Wait. This witness, he doesn't remember. No. It's okay. Oh, he stood up straight. He looks all determined and decisive. I've accomplished what I wanted to do. I'm done. Nick, he looks totally different. This is the real Yogi, I think. Finally. He's been acting feeble to hide his true identity. Acting for 15 years. Well, let me ask you again. Please state your name for the court. My name is Yanni Yogi. 15 years ago, I served as a bailiff in this very court. Order! Order! Yanni Yogi! So, was it you who killed Robert Hammond? And tried to frame Miles Edgeworth for his death? Yes, it was me. I did it. They put me on the witness stand 15 years ago. Robert Hammond, he said I was mentally unsound. He told me it would make me innocent, get me off the hook. So, I pretended to have brain damage. I was innocent, really! But he didn't believe me. We won the trial, but I lost everything. I lost my job, my fiancée, my social standing. Then, this year, 15 years later, a package arrived. It was a letter and a pistol. The plan was written out in careful detail. It was a plan for me to take my revenge on the people who ruined my life. I didn't care who had sent it. I thought this was my chance. After 15 years, this was it. Finally, a chance to have my revenge on Robert Hammond and Miles Edgeworth. I have no regrets. Wait a moment. Revenge against Miles Edgeworth? What do you mean? I'm not at liberty to speak on that matter. Why don't you ask Mr. Edgeworth yourself? Or maybe we will, but maybe we'll do that next episode, guys, as we really get to the bottom of the case. Yanni Yogi has revealed himself who he really is. And now, does the case come to a close, or is there something further here? Because we know there's a mastermind behind this all. Will Yogi now sell out Von Karma? Will Yogi even know it was his handwriting? That's a good question. We'll find out next time on Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Bye-bye.